Books open.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Good evening and welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we are joining a mixed group as they gather for the holiday. Tonight they are gathering at the Fairy Tale Forest, a fairly uh, well renowned establishment. Uh, Typically, kind of a themed park or a theme park. Um, Food, drink, toys, gadgets, that sort of thing. Tonight they are closed for a private party as they will celebrate both Halloween and some of the more ancestral holidays together in a fairy themed uh, festival. Sort of a dance, a ball, costume party, and meal all in one. Um, the entire park is dark as people approach, save for candle lights and some bonfires lit throughout. Um, some of the leaves appear to and trees appear to have been garnished with glitter as well, so everything's kind of got a mystical look to it. And the man at the gate is dressed very much like David Bowie from the Labyrinth. And that seems to kind of be the atmosphere they're going for as well as everyone approaches. He seems to be able to tell who should and shouldn't be here, as he does turn some people away as you guys walk up, but gestures as well to others to come on in. And with that, I will turn it over to everyone to intro themselves.
Well, Miranda tonight is in company with Samantha. Miranda, dressed as a sexy vampire, is trying to hurry Samantha along. We have a party to go to, Chica. We cannot take all night.
I'm moving. She's rolling in. She has a Formula One car built kind of like in front of her wheelchair. It has the Scottish flag on it. She's wearing a little helmet, little suit, and then it has little pixies painted on and stuff.
This is going to be so much fun, Chica.
Ooh, do you think it's okay?
Oh, see. Watch. They will not even stop us. You act like you're supposed to be somewhere. They usually ignore you unless they're security and they are just dicks in the heads because they do not pay attention that you act like you know where you're supposed to be. So, but watch. We go in, no problem.
Okay. She'll wheel on in.
And they will enter.
And as you guys get closer, he kind of gives you this real deep bow and holds out one hand to you guys, and in it is a number of glass globes that appear to have different objects inside the glass, and they're, he's kind of spinning them in his hand, sleight of hand style, and invites you to take one.
Gracias, señor. I will take this one.
Samantha will take one, seeming curious and confused by the costume, but
That is Jared from Labyrinth. You have to have seen that movie. Please tell me you have.
nope.
You have not seen that movie. Hey, Chihuahua. Well, I know what we are going to do at the end of this day. We are going to go over and we are going to go watch that movie. I have it on Netflix. It's muy bien. Be great.
Okay.
Veronica takes one as well.
Veronica, hola chica. Long time no see.
Hello, Miranda.
I don't think I have seen you since the restaurant with your boyfriend, the really pale one. What was it? Mouse? No, no mouse. Squirrel? No. Was her name
Nope.
Hamster?
I know you've seen me before that.
I've not. Have I seen you
Uh,
since then?
Were you at the shipwright during that
Couple
poker game?
time. Oh, the poker game. See, I was a little bit. I had been drinking a little bit, so it's not all perfectly clear. I just know that I went home with a lot of gold that night. Oh, muy bien.
What did you do with your gold?
I saving it.
Smart.
See, I do not want somebody to come plunder my booty.
Samantha seems oblivious.
Charmed. But what if I'm not that kind of pirate?
Ooh, what kind of? What was you?
What if I just want to pillage and steal things?
Ooh. As long as we work out the safe words, I will let you be the pillage and rape person. Is no problem.
So are you offering me a privateer job?
No, that is not what I said. That is nothing like I say. Where is your friend? The redhead. She likes to drink too. Chica is good drinker, partner.
Fear
Veronica
not,
looks
the
at
redhead
Eris.
is here. She's kind of walks up and
And where is your giant teddy bear?
my giant teddy bear.
Sí, el señor who is like super muy grande, muy grande. He has like the scales under his
Oh,
skin.
Samantha will wave to her.
she kind of waves.
She'll beep a little horn on her thing.
Isn't she adorable tonight?
She is. She is.
See, I told you people would love it.
I think it's cute. It's better than the ghost idea.
See,
A ghost, huh?
I was gonna wear a sheet.
Well, Air kind of she definitely for her she definitely looks like she even feels underdressed, but she rolls with it. She's like, well, at least you wouldn't have to worry about your costume riding up your ass.
She blushes.
Or showing anything.
this is a safe place. You can show all you want. There's no problem.
Air is definitely wearing less than she normally does.
Come. You know, I tried to talk Samantha into letting me put razor blades on the front, so if we had to run people over, but she said no.
Nah. Somebody could walk into it next time and cut themselves. That'd be bad.
They would learn to watch where they are going. You deserve respect for your space.
That's fine. There's a good couple of feet of clearance. Is Aaron coming?
And I think he just accidentally closed the window.
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe someone will open the door.
So Ekta's gonna show up. She is in deep blues and purples. She has with her a 1-pot meal to bring to share with everybody. To the Goblin King gentleman in his costume, she will offer a small curtsy.
And he bows, and as he turns, he comes back with a number of those glass globes again with different objects inside. Inviting you to take one.
She's going to take and kind of put the food underneath one arm and selects one and kind of examines it, kind of curious. Thank you.
He gestures to the food and asks if you would like someone to take that for you.
Oh, yes, please.
He motions, and a man dressed as the candlestick from Beauty and the Beast comes up and takes it.
Thank you so much. And she offers it to Lumiere.
John, just a heads up, Nicholas is back, waiting to get back in.
She's going to wander over to the table and kind of take a seat.
So the tables actually run, they're further in, and they kind of run down the pathways, but at the entryway, they don't have chairs. They're covered in like finger foods and glasses of wine and stuff. And there are a couple of punch bowls and stuff that are rather dark for wine, that you will be able to kind of tell as you get closer.
So it doesn't have the viscosity is not that of wine.
Correct.
Got it. She's just going to kind of gingerly take a few of the celery and the finger foods, maybe like a quarter, like one of those quarter sandwiches, and kind of, sit back and kind of take the whole, the whole, everybody in as they're all coming in.
Miranda's bouncing towards the alcohol. Do you want a champagne, Samantha?
A little bit.
See, and she grabs 2, twirls around, and hands one to Samantha. Oh, she noticing somebody she'd seen before, but hadn't really talked a whole lot to, although she probably heard her talking because she gets kind of loud. She's gonna wave hi to the doctor. She knows her as a doctor.
She's just gonna wave back.
Buenos noches. I did not expect to see you here tonight.
It was a surprise. Usually this time of year can get a little bit busy, but I actually did manage to get the evening off. It was quite exciting.
Muy bien. You want some champagne? And she hands you a glass.
Thank you. I don't imbibe. I appreciate it. Is there water? Maybe some soda?
A gentleman comes up in a, and he's dressed in a very like old traditional Halloween costume, like think like kids Charlie Brown era. And at first you don't even recognize him, and you realize after that this is the friar. For those of you who have met Friar Leonard, and he hands you a crystal goblet, and he says, "It's a honeyed rose water that I brought myself."
Well, thank you. She's gonna take a sip of it. You're very talented. It's very delicious. How have you been feeling?
Different. Certainly, this was not a holiday that was typically celebrated with my old companions.
I can't really say that I understand, but
well, when you're around people who, in hindsight, were overly zealous and hell-bent on, pardon my pun, but pushing the Bible, the pagan celebrations in Halloween were not welcome.
I find it odd that they celebrate Christmas.
I'm not sure that particular group did.
Ah.
Or if they did, it was on a very limited basis with emphasis on worship.
Yeah. No ill effects from the nose?
Well, Mari says I look like a boxer. No, with the broken nose, I think he did it on purpose. It healed crooked.
Oh, wow.
But beyond that, not too much.
Well, I'm always here if you need me.
I've been doing some studying with him and some of his companions and learning to see things from a different perspective.
That can be really, really hard.
Well, he told me if I was going to embrace things, I should dress up for the holiday, but...
Well, you look very dashing.
It was a touch of nostalgia. Charlie Brown was a favorite of mine as a boy.
Nothing wrong with bringing back good memories.
He gestures and he says, "Well, no sense in us dallying up here. There's much more excitement further in." He starts walking and he's kind of excited and says, "They've got some fantastic musicians. I'm not sure where they found them. A little bit tawdry with some of their tunes, but I suppose that's something I have to maybe adjust my perspective on as well."
Understood. And I'm going to look back to Miranda and Samantha and kind of wave them forward, kind of like giddy, like a little girl.
Samantha will start moving.
Miranda lets Samantha go ahead of her. She's gonna stop at the dark punch that's not exactly wine, and she's gonna smell it. Is it human?
Well, yes.
She kind of lets out a small sigh and follows along behind Samantha.
Air kind of glances at Veronica. You hungry? Thirsty? Something? Let's get in here and check this out. We didn't just come here to stand here, right?
Out of game, I realized my mic was on mute. 'Cause I just so she says both and points to the punch bowl like, I'm not sure about that, though.
The super not wine punch bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's meant for our consumption.
Nope.
A gentleman in a fairly blatant, very flamboyant tuxedo comes up, and you don't even recognize him at first till he gets closer, and he says, well, where's your sense of adventure? And as you get closer, you realize that it's Gunner. He is in a almost metallic sheen silver tuxedo with embroidery. He has lace at his sleeves and up at the collar.
Mm-hmm.
And his hair is pulled back very nicely. Kind of that Lestat look, although it looks a little out of place because he is huge.
Oh, yeah.
This is
So
when Lestat took steroids.
So is this like Lestat when it's done by Queen of the Dam, or is this the other movie,
This was like the interview,
The Vampire?
like the real Creole nobility
But
upper crust look.
Flamboyant and silver.
Right, with black embroidery, lace.
And I thought I stepped out of my comfort zone. She's kind of like looking at herself.
He chuckles a little bit, and you notice he's carrying a all metal walking stick, and with his hair tied back. And you think as he gets closer that he may have a touch of glitter on his face as well.
Oh my.
And he lets out a deep laugh, and he says, when you get to my age, you don't have a comfort zone anymore.
Well, something tells me I'm not getting that old, but I'll enjoy what I can.
He laughs a little more and hooks one arm through yours, and he says, come, let's see how many people I know I can make uncomfortable tonight.
Oh boy.
This sounds fun. She kind of chuckles and glances at Veronica.
Oh, she's totally gonna check this out. That's amusing to her.
Then he starts heading down the path and kind of following the same direction that Miranda and Samantha had gone. And he says, you see, the funny thing is, after enough time of blatant violence and aggression, people go comfortable with it. So, when someone they think of as a violent savage suddenly appears as something else, it becomes very off-putting to them.
I can imagine.
Well, they don't know how to respond.
No. No, they don't. I'm definitely amused, though.
He chuckles a little and says, I'm sure it will be quite the show. As he continues on, he notices Miranda ahead of them, and in fluent Spanish, calls out and asks if she's found herself a beverage already.
Hearing him, she's gonna turn and be like, "Buenos noches, señor," and she's gonna give a deep curtsy. I found the champagne. They do not have anything more exciting. See, exciting.
He pulls out a bottle and says, "Well, enjoy some of my private reserve."
And she says very clearly in Spanish, "Thank you very much, Prince." No, she would know. Would she know he's not a prince anymore?
Yeah, he's the Baron.
But would she have been told that by Rose?
I'm sure she was told that by. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Air's just gonna kind of raise an eyebrow at Miranda and smile at her. She's standing there.
You know, senor?
I do. She just kind of smiles again.
Miranda looks like she wants to say something, but then she's like, looks like she's thinking on maybe how to say it, or how exactly to word it. And she just kind of huffs in frustration and takes a drink from his flask.
Are you all right, Miranda?
Un
A
momento.
little flustered.
Oh, muy bien. Gracias, señor Baron.
He nods and kind of waves and says, "You hold on to that one."
I am honored. Do you have need of a beverage?
He chuckles a little bit and says, "We can perhaps explore that a bit after dinner."
Sí, señor. She's gonna open it, take another swig, put the cap back on, and it's gonna be sticking like right out the top of the bust of her dress. You look dashing. See, I think that is the word in English. You look very dashing this evening.
He chuckles and says, "Well, sometimes the venue calls for a change of pace."
See, it cannot always be just magic and blood and fun. Sometimes you have to be civil and upstanding, civilized person.
No, dress up the magic and blood and fun.
Exactly.
And as you guys are walking and talking, the gentleman with a walking stick kind of brushes past, and you hear him muttering a little bit about, goddamn youngsters and no respect for classic traditions. And Samantha, I need a perception alertness from you. all of you will notice the gentleman, as he passes you, has a very earthy cologne on. Very distinctive.
Oh yeah.
Hear the tap of his walking stick. He's got his hood kind of up over most of his face, but you can see just a hint of a beard. It's pound, not roll.
Does the voice sound familiar?
No.
Okay.
I was trying to do something from a different thing. Diff.
You
I am
typed
not quite
that
sure
wrong.
what you did there.
Not sure either. What's the difficulty?
It's hashtag, then 7D10, F, whatever the difficulty is. Standard is 6.
Okay.
Five successes, damn.
Right, so you are able to detect quite clearly from where you are. You can see that under his cloak and robe there, you can see cloven feet clicking on the pavement as well.
She will gawk a little, and then seem curious, and gawk more.
What are you staring at, chica? I almost ran into you and fell onto you.
Yes, cloven feet. She points,
You-
like it should be obvious.
You
And the
know,
rest of you can't see it, so.
Okay.
you know that they do make shoes that make it look like you have the cloven feet. It is part of the BDSM. Sí, muy bien. It's probably just part of his costume.
They look really real though. She'll kind of look at them again. They look legit. Like okay. She'll try to stare.
If you are really concerned, I will go talk to him for you. Does that make you better?
I'm just curious. Like, they just look real. Or that's a really good costume. One of the two. Pretty good.
I can go ask him where he got them if you want.
Okay.
And Miranda will just kind of bounce along towards this guy. She's had a glass of champagne and a few shots from the Baron's drink.
Oh boy.
And as you guys
Boy.
are continuing on, you get to the kind of the main area, and there's music going. Performers. There's some people dancing. There's a larger, good-sized fire going, but it's built up in like a stone ring around it, kind of like a mini Stonehenge built around it to contain it.
Sweet.
The tables wrap around it, kind of this like double spiral, double helix thing, and so that everybody can kind of move around them naturally. Real nice flow to everything. And there's in here for those of you who, I think half of you have been here before.
I've been here. I know.
On one character or another.
Right.
But the Fiona is up at the main, kind of at an elevated table, and not sitting, but kind of moving back and forth, standing, not really dancing, but kind of, I guess. So like, excuse me, like a slow belly dance would be, sort of,
Okay.
to the music, and she is kind of waves to people as they come in. And as you guys are gathering, more and more people are showing up. There's a man who is standing tonight in a fairly loose robe, but he's got his hood back and stuff, and you can see that he's got a golden skin. I think Miranda and Samantha might have seen him at least. Actually, all the mages may have seen him. Here's at the gathering. Here's the hermetic.
Oh
Mhm.
my.
So, Tumo is there.
Oh.
He is moving around with, actually dressed in a friar's robe. In fact, you think it may be one of Friar Leonard's old robes, but he is carrying a cask over one shoulder
Naturally.
and has a tap in it that he is literally pouring for people directly off his shoulder.
Looks
So
like
yeah,
some-
Miranda's gonna keep trying to catch up to the guy with the fancy hoof costume.
And you're able to get up closer to him as he gets into the clearing. He kind of slows and takes in the crowd, looks for a good spot to kind of sit. So you're able to catch up to him there, and
Buenas noches, señora. Perdón. May I ask you a question?
he turns and chuckles and says, "I believe you have already done so."
May I ask you like several questions? Like more than 3?
He looks at you again, chuckles, and pulls out a small, like an old style wine bottle where it's wrapped in twine. Takes a swig of it, and he says, "More than 3 may just cost a pretty lady like you a kiss."
I would gladly give you a kiss for the answers.
He looks around, chuckles again, and he says, "Maybe some of you do still understand how to have a party."
Oh, see, I am so much fun at the party. I'm trying to show my friend how to like let loose a little bit. She's a little bit tense, so I'm trying to loosen her up to some tonight because she's. I think she's a virgin.
Oh,
But
no.
I think tonight, start a new year is a new time to start and begin having it more bueno.
He chuckles and says, "It does seem to be a good night to cut loose."
See, so where did you get those hooves? She's very excited about them. She thought they look very real.
He looks down, chuckles, and says, "Sorry, you must be mistaken. Perhaps it's the boots." And he holds out one foot, and you can see that they're like a cowboy boot with a heavy heel to it.
Oh, she will be so disappointed. It's okay. I know places where she can order some boots that look like the hooves, so it's no problem. I just wanted to check with you. So, what kind of kiss do you want? Do you want a kiss on the cheek? Do you want a kiss on the lips? Do you want something that's a little more engaging?
He gets a real kind of deep, throaty laugh, and he says, "Oh, I like you. I think we could have ourselves some real fun tonight."
The more fun, the merrier.
He takes another stiff drink and wraps one arm around you, pulls you close, and gives you a rather substantial kiss.
She will return the kiss equally. Because she's a whore like that.
Air is going to glance at Veronica and lean over and say, $10 says she starts an orgy.
How quietly do you say that?
That's
I mean, she's kind of between. I mean, it's quiet enough where the people that she's with can hear, but so people in her direct vicinity can probably hear.
book and start reading it and be beat red and hide behind the book.
Gunner under his breath says, "I don't know that she'll be the one to start it."
Air kind of turns her head slightly and raises an eyebrow at him.
He nods again to the gentleman, and now that he's got his hood back, you can see he's got longer hair, kind of graying, hanging loose, and he's kind of got this like mad Merlin look to him. And he says, "Just watch. I suspect that old fellow there has a bit of a party inside of him."
Well, maybe it'll be both of them then. She chuckles. How you doing back there, Samantha? She just kind of looks at her.
Fine, doing just fine, you know.
A drink or something?
Yeah, I have a little bit of champagne and a book, and
You need more?
no, I'm okay, but thank you.
She just kind of smirks at Samantha.
She turns a bit more red and kind of lifts the book up a little bit more.
John, can I use Primal Urge to see what kind of food's not like probably covered in blood or something?
I mean, it's pretty easy to tell.
Okay.
They've got it pretty clearly delineated.
Well, Veronica gets some food, and because she's in a festive mood, she'll get some for Aaron and Samantha.
Oh, awesome.
I have sandwiches too, just in case I saw the big gentleman that I met last time I met you, and I have something for Aaron, but he's not here.
Oh, Willow would
You-
have loved you for that.
You make sandwiches and carry them in your purse.
and then I donate them. I don't see the person I'm giving them to.
Okay.
I don't have a lot going on, so
I think that you need to change that if you don't have that much going on. I mean, how exciting is life? You just want to make random men sandwiches.
I'm gonna end up making tamales. But I have, let's see, turkey and cheese and avocado and salmon, and I think you said he liked honey, so I put honey on it, on the bread.
The
See.
Leonard looks at you and he says, "It's sounds like quite the interesting creation there.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not great, but you want to try it?
He offers you a glass of the honeyed rose water, and he says, "I suppose a sandwich would go well."
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she'll pull one out and hand it to him. Anybody else want to try one? I have two more.
Veronica
All
will,
yours.
Veronica will try one of your sandwiches.
Okay, she'll give her one.
Me, I'm interested
We have
in
granola
a
bars.
drink. A nice stiff drink.
Well, I think they have the champagne. I would imagine they have wine somewhere.
Not stiff enough.
Um,
She chuckles.
Mine links air. I'm sorry, they don't have puppy food.
Air whips her head towards Veronica and gives her the most epic stink eye you've ever seen. And she just looks at her and all she says is, no.
is everything okay?
Peachy, just fine, she says through clenched teeth.
Do
Mine
you want
link
me to
again.
see
Mine
if
link
they
it.
have-
There's a party going on here. Mine speech again. There's a party going on in here.
There is.
Do you want me to see if they have something stronger?
I think I got this covered.
Okay.
Air will give Veronica a dirty look again. And she'll excuse herself. I'll be right back. And she'll give the group a smile and a nod, except for Veronica. And she's gonna go find herself a nice stiff drink.
Miranda's still making kissy face, I assume.
I'm assuming that's all it is because I haven't been informed of any sort of changes to that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's rather enthusiastic, so as long as you don't break it off, he continues for a bit. And then finally does pull away and he says, "Well, I certainly don't want to lose the opportunity. I'd be remiss if I kept you from your companions." And he pulls out a set of panpipes and he says, "And they need some real music."
Sí, muy bien. Just gonna pull the flask out and take a swig, capping it back up and sliding it right back in the top of her dress.
He begins to play, and it's rather upbeat. Kind of takes a little bit of a Celtic angle to it, but yeah, it's a excuse me, a lot more flowing. Not as much of the jig that a lot of the Celtic music takes on. And he begins to, he throws back his cloak a bit and does begin to kind of dance around as he's playing.
She's
And
gonna dance along with him.
as he moves and twirls, his cloak kind of starts to flare out as well, and he kind of arms come out and the sleeves billow and swirl, and he keeps his eyes, kind of makes eye contact and keeps it focused on you, and so kind of leading you so you know where he's going next. And if you want to, probably a dexterity and art, maybe. It's not really a good skill for dancing.
Athletics, performance. I don't know.
I don't think mages have performance because it's not on my sheet.
No, they lump most of the performance stuff into arts.
Yeah. Okay. You said dex performance?
Yeah, or
Or
athletics.
dex,
Arts or athletics, whichever's higher.
They're both the same. I'm gonna spend a willpower because she's just having too much fun. Standard difficulty?
Wait, Miranda has martial arts, doesn't she?
She does.
If you want to use that, I'm fine with that because they're already
That takes me from
related
2
skill.
dice to 5 dice.
So it'll just be a diff 7 instead of 6 because you're kind of having to adapt on the fly. But
Okay. 4 successes. 3 of them are 10s.
all right. So you're able to kind of keep with him as he's turning and swirling and playing. Gunnar will lean down, given Miranda came with Samantha, real quietly. He will go, "Did you know she could do that? I didn't know she could do that."
Is he talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, I heard, and I thought I was talking to Miranda. Mm-mm. I didn't. Have you seen her do that before?
He goes, "No, I've seen her do some things, but that wasn't one of them."
And does the dude still have hooves?
Yeah, in fact, now that his hood is back and as he's turning, you can actually see that to you, he has small curling horns on his head as well.
She'll kind of gesture to him. Do you see the horns on his head?
He looks at you and then looks down at your glass, then back at you, and then over at the rest of the group there and says, "How many of those has she had?"
Half a cup and rose water.
Not much at all.
John, does this satyr look like one of the ones that was at the Belton Fest?
No.
Okay.
And in fact, he's very carefully kept it that he looks to those who can't see through it by default. He looks just like an older bardic fellow.
Okay.
So he's kept his seaming up so that people don't see it.
Here, she'll hold out a cup to Gunnar. Try it. It's not that strong.
Wait, you're saying he has horns?
Mm-hmm. And like cloven feet.
Horns and cloven feet.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Like a Greek god. Perhaps.
Is that the impression she would get, I assume?
Yeah, definitely kind of something from that mythos.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys are continuing to watch, and the song does start to wind down a little bit when this excuse me, as everyone's gathering around, kind of talking, and a lot of people are applauding the dancers.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks, he grabs up another glass of wine and turns towards uh, the group and gives a little bit of a bow. Air does find, as she's looking for stronger spirits, a gentleman comes up and he's got a mask on with um, deer antlers
Okay.
and bare chested, wearing kind of like robes, carrying what looks to be a long spear. And as he gets closer, he pulls his mask up briefly so you can at least recognize him, and you recognize that it's you've ran into him a couple times. Ilmari,
Oh, yes.
although
Yes.
somehow he's got most of his tattoos pretty well masked. You're not sure if it was makeup or what, but they are not visible.
She'll kind of give him a nod. You did some good work covering up.
He says, "Well, there's a trick of the light too."
Sure, light. We'll roll with it.
Well, like anything, it holds up better when it's not under close scrutiny.
Fair enough.
He says, and he turns and he says, or if you just get everyone drunk enough that they can't see it straight anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
He holds out a wooden mug towards you and he says, I presume you were looking for something for just such an occasion.
How did you know? She chuckles. She kind of glances back over at Samantha.
He nods towards the group you came with and says, you don't strike me as a champagne type.
No. That's all the Virgin Mary's drink over there. She chuckles.
For a red wine, but that's fine too.
She says Virgin Mary. Her eyes are directly on Samantha.
She doesn't seem to notice it.
He says, "Well, I'd be start easy on that one. They seem to be getting away on people."
Oh, do they?
Well, Tumo makes himself a pretty good mead.
Oh, I definitely know that.
I just decided to distill it up to about 120 proof.
Oh, wow. That'll do it.
Turns out you can turn honey into gasoline.
I certainly hope it doesn't taste like gasoline, but
No,
if
but it
does,
burns
so
like
be
it.
Veronica's eyebrows go up.
And he takes a swig and turns, uh, pulls out kind of with one hand. It looks like he flips a lighter and he spits it out and it ignites.
All right, fair enough. It burns. Got it.
He says, "Well, it wouldn't be a party if we don't have alcohol and fire breathers."
Touche. She kind of eyes up the mug she's been handed and then takes a drink of it.
And it's pretty smooth. It's definitely 120 proof liquor, but it's sweeter and almost more of a liqueur than a vodka type.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I think this will do it. It's good.
He nods again and holds up another one and says, "No, just keeping my blood moving."
Yeah. Just what I'm looking for the night, I think.
Well, it'll certainly be helpful after as well. I
Oh,
plan to go on a traditional hunt this evening.
oh, do you?
Well, you can't bring the huntsman out on Halloween and not hunt.
Fair
Veronica,
enough.
Veronica
Fair
hears
enough.
this and is like, "Oh boy." Air's probably the only one that understands that reference. Hearing Huntsman.
Yep. She's just gonna kind of nod.
He turns and says, "Quite the performance by your friends there."
Which one?
Well, I see the young woman that came in with you that could quite the dancer.
Oh, Miranda. She seems to be a good many number of things.
He says, "Well, aren't we all?"
We all have our skills, yes.
I'm going to go up to Samantha and basically ask, does Miranda know him?
I'm not sure. She might.
She might. Do you know him?
Mm-mm.
No. So basically, she went dancing off with somebody that nobody really knows?
Uh-huh. She seems to know how to handle herself.
Okay. And maybe I'm just a worrywart.
She looks a little conflicted. Is Miranda still over there dancing, I assume?
Yeah, they do seem to be winding down, and as they do, from inside this Stonehenge fire ring, inside this bonfire, you hear a very fast. Sounds almost like a lute, but they're playing it more like a modern guitar. And a man strides out of the shadows. He's wearing a black, like tuxedo coat, black shirt, and trousers. But then he's actually got like a jack-o'-lantern on his head, or a mask that looks very much like a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, fun.
And he begins to sing. It's a very deep, almost raspy voice. And he starts to sing a what sounds like a drinking and gambling song. If there's any Wheel of Time fans, it's the Jack of the Shadows.
Still have to read that. I've read some of it.
I need to read those books out of game.
I did post up its audio and lyrics in the group chat. But he comes out and he's kind of doing this real, like, deep lunging walk, almost reminiscent of like the Jack Skellington walk as he's singing. And real dramatic gestures. Yeah, and at one point he does throw out a pair of dice that clack across the floor before he turns with a swirl and scoops them up again. And he stops, tips his head forward, and from somewhere under his coat he pulls out a real wide-brimmed black hat, pulls it on, and one side is cocked up and there's a large feather, and he actually pulls it right over this jack-o'-lantern that he's wearing. And he lets out a real deep laugh. Kind of ends in like a cackle, and you see people are actually applauding and stuff. And the man who had been dancing with Miranda starts to kind of almost like breathing heavy, like huffing, like it's a challenge. And he gets his pipes back out, and they almost start like this musical duel where they're kind of like circling each other and playing back and forth. And everyone's standing or kind of gathering around a little bit. As they both come up to this kind of crescendo up at the head table there. Fiona gives like kind of a sharp clap, like two claps with her hands, and they both stop and look at her. And she says, "Gentlemen, this was meant to be a party, to be a celebration. But we did not truly understand what celebration meant until the two of you fine artisans arrived. Thank you both for your performances. And while I hate to stop you, I must, at least, long enough that we might all share a toast. And she picks up her glass. And she says, tonight we toast to the spirits of our ancestors who have gone beyond, to the spirits of the dead. They yet linger. To the folk of the other side, those mysterious folk of the Fae, as the seasons change, as we see summer begin to wither into autumn and begin to slumber, we see winter's icy grasp begin to reach forth. We toast to all the gods and all the spirits and all the worlds. And I toast to all of you, fine folk, who have come out to enjoy this revelry. She raises her glass again and drains it. Holds it up and she says, I bid you all welcome. For tonight, we celebrate Hallows Eve in the Hollow. We have storytelling done by our very own James Grimm. Don't let the name fool you. He's rather upbeat. We have food and drink provided by many fine folk. Drink even for those who normally cannot imbibe. Mingle, talk, dance, revel. If you need a space for that revelry to become more personal, please don't break the dishes. We have private glades to the back. There's some that are not so private. We've kept some tables clear. There are furs if you need them. Indulge, engage, celebrate. It's the turning of the seasons. We have such robust harvest. And tonight, for many of us, hunters will go forth in traditional fashion to stock the larders for winter. We wish all the blessings upon them as well. Winter approaches, but fear not. For here, as we gather, we bring community and we invite the flame to keep us warm. And she steps down and begins to walk, talking to people, and you hear toasts going up and cheers, and some people clap, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
As does Miranda, and then she takes a big swig of this thing from the Baron.
If there is anyone specific you guys want to talk to or look for, let me know. In the meantime, there's people continue to mingle. You see Crispin and Kalis are standing, and they're fairly distinctive because although it's a costume party, both of them are too egotistical to ever dress as anything but themselves. So they are dressed, well dressed, and have basic masquerade masks. One that is catches some people off guard. And they kind of keep their distance a little bit, as if he makes them a little leery. See, fairly lean Irishman who is walking around tonight dressed. And he actually has a like a deer's head on.
Oh my.
And
Like
he's
a full-on deer's head.
Yep. Yeah, like he's got like this full kind of this Wendigo look going.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question.
And he's very blatantly like prowling, but being very like, it's like a theatrical prowl, so it's very obvious, very dramatic, and people are kind of unnerved by it.
Air's gonna kind of chuckle faintly to herself at this, especially watching people's reactions.
He's just going to keep eating and reading and drink some of the rose water and glancing around.
Hmm.
I mean, how is there music? Is it lively? Is it subdued?
Oh, it's very lively. The two musicians have picked up again, and very upbeat music. Very, I don't want to say tribal, but it's very primordial type of music. You know, it's very earth tone type. Makes you want to move and gather and that sort of thing. People are talking, dancing, laughing. There are some who seem to kind of just be moving almost as if they're part of the event, moving around and you know, kind of trying to spook people, but at the same time not being malicious about it.
Yeah, just all good-hearted fun.
Right. Yeah, kind of the haunted house type actor. You know, they're.
Yeah. Then Ekta is going to get up and start doing Bhangra. I believe that's what it's called, where you get so joyous that you start that it wells up from within, and it's a very traditional Indian type of dance. Like
Okay.
Indian type of dance.
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out what I have that I might be able to roll.
Yeah, let me take it.
I don't really have athletics. I don't really have expression. I guess I can give a dex roll -1, which will be rolling 1 dice.
Well, because it's a talent, you wouldn't take a penalty. You can use talents untrained. So you could just roll like basically a dex athletics just with no training.
Yeah. Which will put me at 2 because I have no athletics. near as I can tell. I mean, I've got brawl, but that's not what that is. Yeah. Created a social character. Social character who's trying to dance. If I remember how to roll. See if I don't fall flat on my face.
You could, and this will be a little out of character ST help, but you could use your, because you have entropy and correspondence in life 1, you could roll your arete as well to lower that difficulty of your dancing.
Okay. So that's going to be a...
It would be a diff 4 because it's a coincidental, and you would roll your arete of 3. So you roll 3 dice at difficulty 4.
Okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this.
If you're in the dice room, it's hashtag 3D10 F4.
3 successes.
Great, so you would lower your difficulty by 3 on your dex roll.
Okay, so then that is a hashtag
2D10 F3.
F3. 2 successes.
All right, so you're already. I mean, it's certainly not the most graceful dancing or anything, but definitely very passionate, and you stay on your feet and stuff. You're not knocking into people or falling over or anything.
Yeah.
When they started playing again, Miranda took up dancing with them again. Unless somebody intercedes.
So with Veronica, she'll look to air. She'll kind of use some of her expression to see if she can draw more crowd. So have you heard of some of the pirate stories in America?
No, I'm not familiar with pirate tales.
There was one called Rachel Wall. She was rather interesting. Her and her husband, like one point, he came back to her place, and they went on an adventure, which they chose to be pirates, along with various other people he was with. One of her tactics that she would use to get to plunder would be to be off the vessel, claim to be in distress, so when people came to rescue her and the other crew members would go and kill them and rob them.
I mean, definitely sounds like a piratey thing to do.
Amusing thing, when she got in trouble, it was for stuff like she wasn't tried for being a pirate. It was just other thief. She got accused of other theft and got hanged for it.
Ouch. Well, that's the life. Ooh. Is Air kind of like glances at Veronica? I wonder if there's any like games or anything going on. Feeling a little. I mean, I feel like this would be the place for that kind of thing.
Like pinned a tail on something.
No.
Could be a live captive.
No, we're not playing pin the tail on anything. Kind of have to wonder.
Mari says, "Oh, I brought axes."
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Not for any particular reason. I just tend to carry axes with me.
I like you.
Well,
Axe's the other mischief knight.
Air just kind of chuckles. She's like, I tend to leave my toys at home.
He raises an eyebrow at that.
She's being sarcastic when she says toys.
And he says, what you do with your toys is your business, I suppose.
She just face palms. Yeah, okay. I suppose it is, isn't it? She just rolls with it.
Hope you don't chew on them.
Oh, gods, no.
Teeth of daggers. We'll have a whole new meeting.
Her just like looks at Veronica. Oh boy.
I don't know about a game. I thought of a smog. That line he uses.
Well, you brought up your axes. What are you suggesting?
Well, there's a couple of dead trees in back, off the backside of the clearing that I've used in the past. They generally feel it's a good plan to not,
Be around a
damage
bunch of
life.
people.
Well, not so much that, but damaging live trees in a place known as the Fairy Tale Forest seems like a bad fucking idea.
No, I agree. But yeah. That and you never know what drunk is gonna stumble where. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it'd be their own damn fault.
Uses the tip of his spear to clean between his teeth, and he goes, that would be what we call a learning opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. We fall into that category.
Yeah, heads off to one side, grabs a couple of hand throwing axes, and heads over to where there are a couple of larger dead trees.
I see this, Veronica.
I'm sorry, you mumbled.
Yeah, you got super muffled.
She said, "Let's do this, Veronica."
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, axe throwing. That'll be a thing. That'll be fun. I don't know if you want us to make a couple rolls to get this going.
There would be Dex Athletics.
And throwing is like diff 7, right?
Yes.
Give me a moment.
Ooh.
You guys would notice that off to one of the tables near the fire pit, two men seem to be engaging in some sort of quite elaborate puppetry. They actually have full skeletons that are up on the table, reciting Shakespeare and stuff. These giant skeleton. You assume puppets because they're both kind of moving their hands and stuff, but the skeletons are, moving their hands and gesturing and nodding and stuff as they're, jaw moving with the words from these puppeteers.
Oh, hey. 3 seems to be the magic number.
Right. So does that make us out of game really, Battle Sisters?
It must.
Three successes.
There's another one.
Wait, so how many are we doing here? I'm so confused.
Waiting for me.
Huh?
Monster Mash. So I just rolled to see how well she did.
He threw twice.
Alright, well, we got 1 in, so I suppose
So should we
What?
do it one more time?
probably should.
The noticeable key was he threw with both hands,
Oh,
like one in each hand, one
Oh,
after
damn.
another.
Oh, damn.
Air kind of at that point, like, rolls her eyes like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not ambidextrous. I don't have that merit.
Nope, I don't either.
Lots of practice.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. You don't get good at something by not doing it.
Miranda is really enjoying this swig of drink that she got. She seems really happy.
I'm gonna go over and watch the knife throwing.
The axe throwing?
Yes,
It's a sharp object.
They're both
yes,
planted.
it's a sharp object. Just cut me a little bit of slack. It's been a long day.
Samantha will go sit next to, or well, she's already saying she'll go right up next to Miranda and just kind of watch them throw.
Eric kind of glances at Veronica. Well, shit.
Drew a crowd, it looks like.
Yep.
So, want another throw?
I can keep going.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose the axe throwing continues. Oh. Air
Yeah.
must have been too annoyed.
As it does, Omari kind of steps out of the competition, but he just kind of starts to referee a little bit, retrieving axes, bringing them back to you guys, that sort of thing. And it seems your activity has become a bit more of a focus, as you notice as well that the skeleton puppets now appear to be standing one on either side of the throwing lane, like cheering you guys on. And these two musicians, the one with the panpipes and the fellow with the lute who is wearing this jack-o'-lantern head, are playing. Their music gets more kind of dramatic, and they move over kind of behind you guys, and people are starting to cheer on and place bets. And
Oh boy. Air takes a drink and kind of looks at Veronica and she's like, well,
I don't mind.
all right. Let's see. How many of these do we actually want to throw for? What's the comp? First one to botch, fail.
I guess so.
First one to fail sounds.
Throw for a miss.
Yeah. All right. Oh no.
Wow. After we just said that and that type of roll happens.
Right? Veronica
And
botches, I fail.
That's out of game. That's funny.
It is.
And
It is. Air just kind of starts laughing at that point.
the man with the pipes comes up and he swirls across, grabs the axes with one hand, pulls them out, and he kind of throws them across the ground so they come swirling along the paving stones and end up at your feet. And he and the other musician kind of seem to be working together now, and the other musician, this Jack of the Shadows, he's kind of dubbed himself for the night, gets real dramatic, kind of that storyteller bardic voice to him, and he comes up right between the two of you. I mean, head right up between you guys. Our fearless warriors, under the vast pressure, a contest for the ages. A single target. Blades glistening like the crescent moons, shining silver, cold steel. And he looks, and it almost seems like the jack-o'-lantern has some expression. As it kind of turns and one eyebrow cocks at Air, and then it turns and he does the same thing to the other side, and he says, which of you has the skill? Which of you has the courage to split the gate tree, to welcome in All Hallows Eve? And he gets almost like that WWE type of voice, and he turns. People are cheering. Omari picks up the axes and he says, it seems the folks would like a show.
I do believe you're right.
Yes, indeed.
Shall we give them one?
Veronica smirks and takes an axe.
Yep.
Yeah. Takes both his hands and he runs the palms down the axe blades. And as he does, you can see the blood on the axes, and they burst into like green and blue fairy fire type flames. And he throws his hands up in the air, and you can see the blood splatters kind of flare out. And he runs his hands back through his hair, wipes it on his mask under his eyes like war paint, And he says, perhaps the huntsman needs a champion. Shall we make the contest interesting?
Hare glances at Veronica and just kind of smirks. I'm down
Veronica's-
for interesting.
Ditto.
The winner of tonight's contest. And he points down at the tree, and it starts to the same flames kind of dance a little bit up on the branches, and he says, passes through the gate tree with me. And joins us as we call the wild hunt.
Hare kind of half smirks. All right.
But if we have a winner, we must also have a loser.
Yes.
He chuckles a little bit, and he says, do we have any votes? Suggestions for the loser? Perhaps she should be prey for the hunt.
That's not going to go well out of game.
And then the man with the panpipes and says, no, let's keep it a friendly challenge. I've seen the kind of hunts you folk have on a night like this. Much better prey. Much more worthy. Perhaps the loser plays the role of jester for the evening.
Oh my god.
Oh, see, that would be so funny. Oh, I could see. Oh, that would be so funny. Oh my goodness. See, one of them has to be there. Yes, sir.
I think Miranda likes this idea way too much.
She does.
She looks like she is 10 sheets to the wind, and you know she hasn't had a whole lot to drink.
Oh boy. I mean, there are worse things a loser could do, I suppose. Right?
There is. Oh, there is.
Yeah. I think I can agree to that.
I can agree to that as well.
He turns again and says, very well, then. It is agreed. The loser shall play the role of jester. The winner shall become huntress.
Oh boy. All right.
Throwers, are you ready?
Yep.
She gets ready.
And the The man with the lute comes up with the real dramatic little riff.
All right.
And Omari nods to both you guys and says, "Very well then. Let's see who can split the tree."
All right.
All right. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hmm.
So you guys each want to go ahead and throw, and then we will throw for damage.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Say willpower is definitely a thing here. To at least guarantee a hit. Wow, we both spent a willpower and we both got 3.
Alright, so that's 4 successes each
Yep.
then. Let me just grab my damage chart quick for axes, because it's been a while.
It's been a while
Oh,
since
wow.
I did the max too.
Part of me wants to say it's like 3.
Well, these would be comparable to a tomahawk for throwing damage.
Oh,
That's
then
strength
I
plus
think
1.
that's okay.
Diff, I guess it should have been diff 6 according to this, but
Oh well, it's thrown. Thrown adds extra difficulty.
well, this is according to the thrown chart,
Oh,
but it
Well,
wouldn't have made a difference on either of those anyway. So
it's true.
it's strength plus 1 damage plus your rollover.
Yep.
So strength plus 4 each.
Diff, if any.
Standard, 'cause it's
Damage is
damage.
always standard, or
Remember
almost
to
always.
use E6 so it doesn't subtract ones.
Oh, E6.
Yeah.
Well,
Doesn't really matter. You both have 5 successes.
right. Dang, we're
Thanks.
amazing.
So both axes hit the tree pretty solidly and embed themselves. And Ilmari turns and holds out both hands, and the axes fly back, kind of reminiscent like the Thor,
Okay.
Mjolnir flying to his hand type maneuver. And he hands them back, and he says, "Might as well show off when I get the chance to. I don't have to worry about anybody who shouldn't see it here." And he turns back and he says, "It seems our contestants are determined to put up a fight."
We don't know any other way, do we? She kind of glances at Veronica and smirks.
Must be that no one wants to play the jester. And the man, he pulls out this like multicolored cap. And he says, "But I've got such a wonderful jester costume."
Oh boy. Motivation right there.
Pretty much.
And you get Yomari hands the axes back to you guys for your second throw.
You said these are diff 6, not 7?
Correct.
Okay. Oops.
If you want to use willpower, put hashtag willpower.
Well,
Okay.
I put
Or
a
you can
slash.
just put +1
Okay.
after it, and it will automatically add a success.
I've had
Yeah.
experiences where I got like different keywords and it's like,
Mine
what?
still tells you what you got on a roll.
Yeah.
Demon, get out of here. Okay.
You both got 5 again.
Yeah, we did.
So it's both strength plus, strength plus 5 this time. Because there's 4 rollover and 1 from the axe.
And what do you say I have to put in to make sure there's no minuses?
E.
E6?
E instead of F, yep.
Dang it! The damage dice don't like me.
Maybe you're just not a killer.
Just waiting for Veronica's damage.
I already did it earlier.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it came before
It
mine.
mixed in. They came up on my screen at the same time, so I lost it in the other one.
No worries.
All right, so Veronica's, yours starts to, like, you can see the tree is starting to split where you're hitting it. Air's not so much.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And he, Ilmari walks down there, grabs the axe, just pulls him out. And as he comes back, he kind of inspects the tree, real critically, real dramatic about it. Turns back and he says, "This just might be it, folks. One good strike here might finish it, and we might have our jester for the evening." And he offers it. The axe is back to both of you again.
All right. Well, here we go.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Veronica's got 3 plus your willpower is 4.
Oh, shoot. Hold on.
No worries.
Math. That +1 is the willpower. Are you serious?
Veronica hit better.
We both have 4 with the willpower, I think.
No, yours
No,
is 3
yours
with
is-
willpower.
Oh, that's right. Mine is the +1. Okay, either way.
So air is strength plus 3. Veronica is strength plus 4.
The magical number 5 for your damage, huh?
Yep.
I get, of course, 1 less on damage.
At least ones don't count.
That's true.
And as Veronica's axe hits, that fairy fire on the blade flares up and it blows clean through, splitting the tree, this dead tree, in half. And Ilmari turns and he says, "It seems we have our huntress for the evening and our jester."
She'll just look at Veronica. Have fun.
I literally am strikes with lightning.
Yes, you are. And I'm the funny guy.
As he turns back, he gathers up the axes and wipes his hand across it, and the flames go out. Yeah, but the tree that was split, the flames actually continue to dance along those split edges, forming like a sort of an archway. And through it, there's a pretty clear path. Running into the woods, which is rather odd because you thought this was kind of near the back edge of the fairy tale forest, but this seems to continue into some thick forest.
Wow.
No
And,
surprise there.
Ilmari says, "Shall we enjoy some more of the evening before our hunt?"
That would be a wonderful idea.
Mhm.
I get to see the gesture. Out of game, you could joke about whoever you want.
Right? Right.
You are such an adorable yester. Oh my goodness. I need a picture. I wish I had a camera so I could take a
No,
picture of this.
no
It would be so
pictures.
amazing. I am crappy with the electronics. They always like shock me. It's no,
Heck,
no bueno. But I am taking a mental picture of this so I can remember this moment. It is bien. So bien. Muy bien.
I'm sure you will remember it deep in your heart.
Sí.
Photos are not necessary.
Oh, maybe Samantha has her. She left already. Why does she do that? She always leaves so early.
Well, I mean, you did you did invite her here with you, right? You kind of went off dancing and got a little bit
I was getting the information she wanted.
All right. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the information she wanted about the hooved dude.
They're just cowboy boots. Is nothing special.
Uh-huh.
Look at them. They are just cowboy boots.
I believe it. I believe it. Eric kind of proceeds into taking a really long drink.
Miranda, seeing her drink, was like, "Oh yes, drink." And she sips very, like she's savoring whatever it is that is in this flask.
I've got to get in the right frame of mind for this. All right.
Oh, see, the right frame of mind. This stuff right here. Oh, I will need to find out the recipe for this because this. Oh, sí, muy bien. Muy.
What is she drinking? Is it
The Baron's flask of
okay?
stuff.
Gotcha. I'm sure it's a very special recipe.
Know him? See, she gets in really close to the air. Remember the one I said? I ate the werewolf brain. It was with him. The bear.
I'm going to pretend like I don't know that. And then she proceeds into drinking again. Nice long drink out of the mug. All right. You know, funny business isn't my business. I really got to get in the frame of mind here. I mean, you know, funny business isn't my business.
But you are always so funny and like spirited. See, spirited, that is a good word for it. You're always so spirited and funny and engaging. I love it.
Ooh. What kind of food is here, John?
Little of everything, but it's a lot of kind of. I mean, there's roasts, there's sandwiches, there's rice dishes, there's pies, cakes.
Chicken.
Yes, there's chicken.
Okay. I'm gonna have to collect some. She's gonna kind of walk up to Veronica and pat her on the back. You know, should be extra careful. All things considered. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Who is she saying that to?
Veronica.
She nods.
Because even though I'm in this stupid suit because of you, you're still family. And then she's like, "Give me your hand."
She gets her hand out.
In her, and she just sets some chicken in her hand. They didn't have chicken wings. Sorry.
Damn.
You would have been receiving it in a different manner if they had. Enjoy a snack.
And Veronica's probably the only one that understands that joke.
Yep. So it's really not funny to anyone else.
It's only funny to her.
Right. Everyone's like, why is she handing her chicken? Fucking weirdo. I suppose I can go and do jestery things. Whatever that means. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, kind of like the gestures and whatnot at Ren fairs where you kind
Oh
of
no,
go
I
around
know.
and-
Holly knows what they mean, but Air's just like, this isn't really my business, but I'm gonna try. Might not be the best. She will keep drinking to help her be better, though.
And as everyone's celebrating and stuff, and the contest kind of came to this big, exciting end, the gentleman with the panpipes is now up on the Stonehenge thing, dancing and playing, and very caught up in it. And the wind starts to swirl around him, and the flames start to kind of swirl up and start to get different colors in it. And people start to like chant and clap along with the music and whatnot, and it's up to you guys if any of you want to participate as well.
Oh, Miranda's participating.
All right. Anything
Miranda
else?
is very participatory. At some point, Miranda will return back to the Baron with an empty flask.
Okay. And he chuckles a little bit and says, "I assume you enjoyed it."
Oh, sí, it was muy bien. It was just what I needed tonight. Oh my. You are so sweet for sharing that with me. How tall is he?
He's like 6.5 feet tall.
She kind of gestures for him to lean down just a little bit.
Then he'll lean forward.
She's gonna give him a quick kiss, and then as thank you, and then go off and. Oh no, she's gonna say, "I still owe you a drink to eat."
He gestures around and says, "Well, perhaps you'd care to join me for dinner after the party."
Sí, we can do that. Sí, sí. And she is going to wander off and enjoy the frivolity and such of the party.
All right, I need a willpower roll from everybody at difficulty 8.
Oh, ouch.
Wow, I keep getting 3s.
Miranda has failed.
Me too.
Oh boy.
Maybe it's because I'm part of the hunt.
So the only roll we still need then is our mage.
Is Heather still here?
No, she's gone off for quiet. Heather, are you still with us? Alright, so in the meantime, for those of you who failed said willpower roll, you find that the barriers of social convention that would prevent you from surrendering to your passions or revelries are not really there.
Oh no.
And because you have failed, you find yourselves helpless to resist indulging in those secret desires, whatever they may be. So if you guys want to handle that off screen as Blue Books, we can do that. So before we move that direction, is there anything else anyone wants to take care of in scene?
I don't have anything.
Nope, not anything in particular.
Nope.
All right, well, we will wrap it there then. And we can handle everyone's individual stuff through Blue Books if that works for everybody.
Yep.
So that will be Veronica's hunt.
Yep.
And Miranda and Air, whatever you decide to do, whatever desires you guys each indulge in. So we will wrap it up there as everybody continues to celebrate and revel up until basically just after midnight. People kind of start to separate out and head out. Some linger longer than others, and some are engaging in revelries of their own of various sorts. And we will wrap it with that then. So thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. This has been another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam, an open scene for the Halloween holiday.